And if you have a quick look at this oil cap, you'll see that it's 5W30. So we're back in the car, turn the engine on. And then choose oil leveled display. Now we're getting an overfilled, which is very good. I'd rather be overfilled than underfilled, so we're going to have to drain some of this oil. If you lift the engine cover off, right by the oil here, there's this pipe here. Let me stand over here because of the sunlight, so you can see it. There you can see it's definitely got a rotary symbol or a twist symbol. You can basically twist that here and then pull it out. There. Okay, now that tube, that pipe will allow you to suck the oil out. So we're going to get an extractor and suck out the excess oil. I'd recommend a larger extractor because obviously this is quite labour intensive. That is the state of the oil, pitch black. So even though I've added 7 litres, I'm going to drain all of the oil and put a fresh 10 litres in. One of the main reasons I've not drained the oil using the sump beneath the car is because it's collapsed on the left hand side. I'm just going to go start the car. You'll watch the air suspension start to raise the vehicle. So we're back from Machine Mart. I have just picked up another bit of hardware, and what we have here is a 12 volt oil and diesel pump. So that is what I've just purchased, and we're going to go outside and give this a try. This cost me, how much was this? So it's £44.39. I believe that this presents way better value than one of the plastic sort of 9 litre pumps. On eBay you can get one for 40 to 50 quid. On the high street you're going to be looking to pay 2 or 3 times as much. I've seen some really nice ones, but look, it's all plastic. By the time you get to the 50th use, it will be breaking, if not already broken. So hopefully this will give us far much more value. This is 12 volts, which means it's going to be quite slow. You're going to have to be patient. There is a mains electric one, which is 230 volts. That will be far much more powerful. That will be the default option if I decide to keep this car. But I believe that this should keep us trundling along really quite nicely. The pump is pretty straightforward. There's an out and an in. So this is the pipe for the in, that is the pipe for the out. The problem with this pipe is it doesn't fit on the car. This pipe, however, from the manual pump does fit on the car, so we're going to try and fit that instead. Before we start pumping, we're going to remove the oil filter again. That will allow the oil to actually flow out far much more easily. You'll need this socket set. You can easily pick one up off eBay. This helps not fray the edges around the oil filter cap, so very useful. Luckily I have a spare battery that I've fully charged that I'm going to use instead of the battery on the car. So here we are after around half an hour. I'd say probably a third of the bucket. After around an hour, the bucket is nearly full. Fantastic progress with the pump. We've been able to remove all the oil from the car. Next up, we're going to replace the oil filter, and we're going to place 9.5 litres of oil. I purchased 30 litres of oil, so the plan tomorrow is to put 9.5 litres of oil, and then we're going to run an engine flush. After the engine flush, we're then going to drain and put another 9.5 litres of oil. And then we're going to run that again for a day or so, and then we're going to remove that, and finally for the third time we're then going to add some pretty good 5W30. So that is the plan with this Range Rover. I've just picked up 30 litres of oil from the auto shop. This costs £25 for 5 litres, so 50, and this is top of the range at about £35 for 5 litres. So the plan really is to drain the car and then to put 10 litres. It's actually 9.5 litres. There's a little measuring scale on the side of the bottle, so you just need to pour out 500 mils. So we're going to first drain the car, and then we're going to add 10 litres and then add this engine flush, run the engine for a while, and then leave this to drain overnight. Then the following night we're going to add another 10 litres and again let that drain overnight, and then finally we'll add the good stuff. Also got a couple of filters to swap out as well. Don't forget to replace these O-rings. There's this outer one that goes here. Just pull that off. And then also be sure to rub a little bit of oil around it. Make sure you soak the filter in some oil before it goes in. We've got half a litre that we can play around with, because we've got 10 litres, the car only needs 9.5. So there we are. Finally, the moment we've been waiting for. The misfire is still present, the car is still wobbling. I suspect, as I've said, that it's going to be one of the fuel injectors. So next up we're going to have to clean all the fuel injectors or replace any faulty ones.